Hello, everyone. It's Michael Jaco with Unleashing Intuition Secrets. So, as we saw yesterday, the prediction that I said it twice, kind of like hinting that there was going to be an attack last night. Everything lined up when you've been in this field for as long as I have, 35 plus years in the field, whether it's being the SEAL teams or for 24 years, 11 years in CIA. You start to see, the way things line up. You got a feel for things. Of course, you got the intuition coming in, which I have, and then remote viewing and all that kind of stuff. Basically, gives me a little bit of an edge. It's not always perfect. Of course, things change. I've been, ready to go on a lot of these operations. It was go. We were going, and then we turn around. All kinds of crazy stuff. So uh, you can be there knowing you're going to go, and then you don't. All right. So these things can turn around quite a bit. Now, a lot of times, what will happen is there'll be disinformation, like we saw yesterday, and I felt that something was off about them putting out because President Trump was like, maybe 2 weeks we'll do something. I was like, he knows the date, and so I was already thinking that it was going to be this weekend. And they like to do these things on the weekend so it doesn't shock the market. All right, so they have to appease the market, of course, because then people get all discombobulated and they whine more than they do are already. So you get we're finally starting to see those MAGA people that aren't really MAGA, right? So uh, I don't think it's a big deal that you don't support President Trump. But, we're in a position right now where the shit can really hit the fan. And so, regardless of where your political leanings are, who you like, who you don't like, you need to get on board. You get on board what's going on. But it's been this way throughout forever. You know that World War II. Before World War II, there were Nazi marches, literal, with Nazi uniforms in New York. Yes. So not everybody was on board with World War II. And we know that not everybody was on board with the revolution. The Revolutionary War, the Patriots, those that were opposed to, the British rule, they had to fight against loyalists. And the loyalists were the basically people in the different states, colonies, as they were known back then, that were sided with the British Crown and actually fought the Patriots, right? And the Patriots were called terrorists. Patriots were called terrorists because that's a British term, terrorist, right? So that's something that we've seen, in the Middle East, terrorists, those that are opposed to rule and try to usurp that role and terrorize the local population to try and sway the rule in their favor. So this is something that's been going on for a long time. Civil War. And I'm going to talk about the Civil War because the Civil War, I think we're in a stealth civil war right now by the Democrats. The Democrats are waging a stealth civil war against us. So not only do we have, we're trying to fight for the freedoms of people all over the world and this evil empire of Iran, which has fomented so much death and destruction. I would say millions of people, and I'll show you some of the numbers because I was there involved in all of it, guys. From the early stages when the Iranian Revolution happened, I was in the SEAL teams, so I remember all this stuff. And I remember Delta going in, a newly formed Delta going in, and at Desert One under Carter, who had decimated the military, former military guy, submariner, that had just devastated the U.S. military after the Vietnam War, had cut it and cut it and cut it, and then he's like, "Oh, now I need you guys to perform a miracle." Right? The Democrats do this all the time. right? So it's very frustrating for me, like I've been saying for years now, to see the Democrat Party still in existence. I keep saying that it will go away, and I keep praying that it will go away, and hoping that it will go away, because it is a bane on the United States. It is horrific. All right. So now I know I've lost a few Democrat people out there that were watching, and they probably like gone off. But and I'm not trying to go against any particular individual. It's just a political party. It's like the Shia of Iran, or a group of, I guess, a political party of the Muslim faith that is opposed to the freedoms of others, just like the Democrat Party. I think that's probably why they probably get along. They probably get along on some level, just like Hitler thought the Democrat Party was just what he liked them. He liked the Democrat Party, and that's, I think, a lot of Hitler's boys and girls came over to America because of the Democrat Party. And of course, you're like, Mike, the Republicans are just as bad. Yeah, the Bush family were involved with Hitler and the Nazis before the war even started. Before it even started. All right. So there's so many stories about that. So many stories about, who is, here in the United States that is descendant from the Nazi Party. There's a lot. So Democrats, Republicans, the whole system is shit to me. It's shit to me. So eventually, I think it goes away. There's so much corruption, and a lot of people are going to get exposed. All right, so we had the strike last night. Now the strike, I believe, came at the perfect time. So you have it on the weekend, so the markets don't get too shocked. I've looked at crypto. Crypto got slammed today because it trades 24/7. So it got slammed today, and it's starting to recover a little bit, but it gets slammed pretty good, especially the alternate coins, XRP, and some of those other ones really getting slammed, almost hitting the lows that they did in the last downturn. So if you look at a lot of these cryptos, basically it's like a lower high and a lower low. And if I look at XRP, I saw this one guy who's a remote viewer. I'm not going to name names, but he's pretty popular. I like a lot of stuff he does. He's usually pretty good. But he said, we'll see 666. I was like, how did you come up with that number, dude? Are you serious? For XRP, and he thinks it'll happen this summer. It's possible. It's possible. But I think we'll see $1 before we see 666. But we'll see. So right now it's under $2. It's $1.90 something. It may go lower. Now, when I don't think it's an if, it's a when Iran does something stupid, and they're going to, because that's just the way they're made up. It's kind of like the Democrat Party. They're going to do stupid. All right. So, and they're going to ruin themselves, just like the Democrat Party. They're going to ruin themselves. And I have a whole list of things I'm gonna tell you about the Democrat Party, all the way back before World War or Civil War, guys. So, and then we're seeing the same thing. The Democrats are a party of slavery, and that's why they're pushing so hard for the immigrants. And there's illegal immigrants because they're slaves to them. Who's going to pick your crops? Who's going to wash your dishes? Who's going to do your laundry and your clothes and your clean your house? And blah, blah, blah. You guys are still into slavery. You suck. All right. So, and they're rioting for that. They're forcing their will on us, just like they did in the Civil War. Right. So anyway, and who started the First World War? Democrat. And so we go on and on. Second World War, Democrat. On and on and on. A Vietnam War, Democrat. Oh, Jesus, guys. So come on, we got to do away with the Democrat Party. Please wake the F up, God. All right, so let me get down to what a lot of you guys are wanting to hear. So here we have the Jewish faith So the Abrahamic religions are like Friday is Jewish, they're first, and then because that's where Abraham came from, and then there is the Muslim faith. They're Saturday. I don't know how they got Saturday, but it is what it is. I think it's because we had um, the Romans. The Romans really liked Christianity, right? They really liked it. In fact, they had a lot of Jews in Rome. The and these were the good guys, the good guy Jews, because we know there's bad guy Jews, just like we know there's bad guy Democrat Party, and no, there's no good guy Democrat Party. But there's Democrat Party, and then there's some Republicans. All right. So if we look at the throughout history, we see that there are times where, okay, we're going to give you this day, we're going to give you this day, and sun. So the Romans were into sun worship. they had the sun deity and Mithras. Where did Mithras come from? Mithras came from Iran. Whoa, yes. So there's a lot of things that are tying to U.S. And Iran, like that dance. So if we look at all the different things that have happened throughout history, and the guy that's riding, he's got wings, and he's riding on a globe. It's like a thing that comes from a long time ago, and you see it on the Egyptian. The Egyptian had that sun ring, and they had worship of the sun, Ra, and all these different things. And it just, and of course, in the Vatican, they have the obelisk, and from Egypt. In France and Paris, they have the obelisk. In Rome, of course, all over Rome, and Constantinople, they got an obelisk, and because Constantinople was a very prominent thing, because they Constantine the Great was like, you guys are all corrupt here. You're like all into pedophilia and stuff here in Rome. I'm going to go over here. Right? We're going to start a new church over here, a whole new city, and so he started Constantinople, and then the Muslims came in, and they, Constantinople, hey, we need some help from you guys in the West, and they're like, screw you, you like left, so you're on your own, So the Muslims came in and took over. Now it's called Istanbul, and history. So you gotta like weave it all into everything, guys. So we're in this historical time where it's good against evil, and Iran is evil, Democrat Party is evil, right? So all of this has to be cleaned, right? And I'm kind of joking, but I'm not too, all right? So as my camera was like, oh, you're not joking? Let me show you what's joking. What's jokey, right? So, it's I don't know. I move my hands, and the camera's like, oh, you want me to go over here? All right. So I try to keep my Italian side of myself still. That Roman stuff. So I have many lifetimes in Rome. Constantinople. I was there. I started that. That's Constantine the Great. Yeah. So there's lots of different things that we're starting to see as far as like, and that was the Constantinople was a tie between the West and the East. It was a tie-in. So it was a good time for history. But the West, Rome, and all the other places. There's also in of course we have in Washington D.C. they had to make one, basically obelisk. But in New York, at the New York Museum of Art, I think it is, where they have all the Egyptian stuff. There's an obelisk there, and that is from Egypt. So every country that is a big country has an obelisk from Egypt. Why? All right. So, all this symbolism, Masonic and Shriners, and all this stuff is interwoven. The all-seeing eye on the dollar. It's like, geez, it's like makes you dizzy trying to put it all together, right? But it does come together, and it does make sense over time when you start to study it all. So there is, like I say, a good against evil. So Sunday was Mithras. And if you look up Mithras, you'll see these rays, 7 rays coming out of his head. And then you'll see Jesus. He's got the 7 rays. So this is an enlightened, thing that happens to Christed ones. You see the Statue of Liberty, which is got the 7 rays, but that's not a Christed one. That's Lucifer, right? So don't look at that one and go, oh, let's get, because it's got the shackle on the ankle, and looks like a man if you really look at it. And it looks like a man with boobs. Looks like hermaphrodite, right? So that's the Luciferian side, guys. That's why they're pushing the transgenderism stuff. All right, Democrats, right? Demon rats. So just put it all together, right? So it's not that hard. You just put this together. That makes sense. Put this together, and that makes sense. And you don't have to make it up. You don't have to just say the Democrats are bad. You can look and see that they're bad. All right. So that's why we're seeing a demonstration today. I saw this. I was like going in to pull up this one thing on X, and I saw that somebody posted. So I have to show this. So somebody posted, like, what was it, 3 months ago? Let me get this right. He says, let me pull this over here. It says, Matt Van Swole. He's swole. Right. Good job, Matt. You're swole up. All right. So let me get this right. 2 months ago, we had Ukrainian flags everywhere. A month ago, we had Palestinian flags everywhere. And today, what do we have? Iranian flags. No U.S.-Israel war on Iran. So, this must be this is New York. This is the Democrats, guys. All right. So they push every agenda that basically is going to destroy America so that they can have complete control. It's unbelievable. All right. So while I'm on this, let me just scroll down here while I got it. Let's listen to this little granny here while she scolds us because we don't believe in slavery. All right. Way down here, because I'm like, I put so much stuff on here. Oh yeah, and Rand Paul, we got to talk about this knucklehead too. He said that MSNBC, Paul went on MSNBC to bash the U.S. Army's 250th birthday parade. Said it reminded him of the Soviet Union and North Korea. What is going on in Kentucky? What is going on in Kentucky? Kentucky, I have family there. I've been there. It's a great place. I love Kentucky. It's got great history, but something is going on in Kentucky. They have some strange Kool-Aid there. Let's listen to this lovely lady.
So I'm in my beautiful city, LA, and I have friends texting me like all morning. My gardener didn't show up. My housekeeper didn't show up. My farmer's market was closed. Everyone's scared. Well, this is not going to just happen in LA. And you 1%ers that only voted for Trump because of money, guess what? You're going to have to do your own dishes or clean your own house or mow your own lawn and that wonderful produce, the organic produce you get for your brunches, and all gone. Yeah, you're going to actually have to do some work around your house. These people are important.
These slaves are important. Jesus. What is with the Democrat Party? Still stuck on slavery. They need to go bye-bye, right? So we're going to talk about the Jim Crow laws and how the Republican Party has been, pushing for we the people, and the Democrat Party is trying to been tearing us down all the way back to 1860. And I got a lot of stuff for you guys. So, but first, let's go a little bit deeper into things you should know about the U.S. strikes. So President Trump came on. Of course, this was within hours after I said there could be strikes tonight. So tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular, and they were, military success, and unbelievable, guys. unbelievably spectacular success. I've been involved in a lot of combat missions. I've been involved in help setting them up. I mean, I've got decades doing this. This was probably the most incredible military exercise in history. I mean, the Iranians didn't know what the hell hit them, and we hit them hard, right? I think it was like 125 aircraft. They were like cruise missiles shot from submarines. They were fighter aircraft, fourth, fifth generation fighter aircraft that were escorting the bombers in when they hit a certain airspace. They were probably launched from carriers, and they went in, and not a shot was fired at them. They didn't remember. I was saying last night that they're probably going to jam all of the radars and all that kind of stuff. We got some high-techs up there. They didn't even light up their radars for their missile launch systems against aircraft. And that's a word. I don't know if that's true, but all of those aircraft returned to base. No one wounded, no aircraft lost, nothing from U.S. side. They're still doing battle damage assessment. That'll take a little time, but from what they're saying already is it's an overwhelming success, and they knocked Iran. This is what they're saying. I'm skeptical, quite frankly, because I think Iran already has nukes, but they're saying that they pushed the Iranian nuclear capabilities back months with a strike. So I guess we can just walk away and then everything's good then, right? So just like the Democrats. We kick their ass in the Civil War and just walk away and they'll just go away. No, they're not going to go away. And we know they're not going to go away. And so there's a timing thing that's happening right now. Now, if they're really smart, which they're not, they would not do anything. But they've already talked shit. And so once they start talking shit, they got to like back it up with something, right? So they're saying that every U.S. citizen is, it can be attacked now. It's like, okay, all right. So if you do, there'll be a massive retaliation. I said that in a post last night. I said, first of all, there's going to be some type of response. They'll push back, they'll strike back. And then there will be an overwhelming response to that. So we sent 125, aircraft were involved in this strike. And this strike, by all intents and purposes, is like the U.S. is like, hey, we just knocked the hell out of their nuclear capability. We're not involved here anymore. That's kind of what they're saying. We'll see. We'll see how this works out. Personally, I think we're going to be knocking the hell out of them. A lot more. And I think we're going to be knocking the hell out of them until that regime is gone, because we can't trust that regime. The regime has been pushing for all the way since they came into power. Within 4 years after they came into power, after 1979, they started doing bad things. All right. They had 2 car bombs that came in and blew up in Beirut, Lebanon, the Marine barracks, and killed a lot of people. Right. And it's been going downhill ever since. So they can't be trusted, guys. I told you they have to be removed. Now, are we going to remove assassinate, leadership? Done it before, right? Osama bin Laden, bye-bye. I was there on that. I was involved in removing a lot of terrorists. So this guy that's running Iran, he's a terrorist, right? He's a terrorist, absolutely, unquestionably. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace, Trump said. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. So I think with all those cruise missiles they shot, and they shot quite a few of them, dozens, they went after critical infrastructure as well as, knocking out their nuclear capability. So we'll see probably a greater attack at some point. So it's already planned. They've already, they pulled this one off. I'm sure they're going to pull off more in the future. They're probably all set up for what the response will be. depending on what Iran's response is going to be. So probably the first thing we'll see is them attack some kind of military base in the Middle East. Maybe shoot some missiles at it or something, and I don't know. We'll see. If they do, injure or kill U.S. personnel again, then there'll probably be some type of response from that. But if they do something far greater, I would say ultimate worst case scenario would be a dirty nuke, basically backpack bomb somewhere in the world where U.S. interests are involved, right? And you guys know that I've seen a nuke being dropped over Tel Aviv. Now, I think there's a possibility they may get a nuke because who left the border wide open? You see how bad that is now? You see how bad that is now? We were jumping up and down and screaming for 4 years that the Democrats were going to put us at incredible vulnerability, and now we have sleeper cells all over our country, guys. This is our 10,000 known sleeper cell people in the United States. So was a backpack nuke brought in with some of them? Were backpack nukes brought in with them? That remains to be seen. I pray to God that is not the case. I personally don't see it. That doesn't mean it's not going to happen, right? So, don't, because I'm like, oh, Mike doesn't see it, I'm good, right? I'm just going to kick back and watch the show. I would just trust your intuition going forward. I think things are going to get pretty hairy this week. You guys might remember I said, and I don't know if it was the show last night or the show before, that basically the way the planets are lined up astrologically this weekend was going to be something monumental. So we just saw it, right? We saw it not on the Jewish, God Celebration Day, Friday, not on the Muslim God Celebration Day, Saturday, but on the Christian God Celebration Day, Sunday. So Christ is King, right? So I don't see this as like my God's better than your God type thing. I just see this as a evil against good, guys. It's just simple as that. And that's not saying that Muslims are evil. No, there's certain sects that are evil. There's certain sects in Christianity that are evil. There's certain sects in Judaism that's evil, right? So we know that, but we can't just carte blanche say all of them are bad. That's dumb. That's ridiculous. And we're not all Democrats, right? So we do believe in good things. And when I read some of these things off to you, because you're like, Mike, you're bashing the Democrats too much. Wait till I read this stuff off to you. You're gonna be like, you didn't go hard enough on them. So I don't. Your bold decision to target Iran's nuclear facilities with the awesome and righteous might of the United States will change history, he said. So that was Netanyahu. Now, Netanyahu, in my opinion, is, like I said, is like that Roman general that they put into power. He sways the public follows him. I don't know that Israeli public follows him very much, but he's able to get things done. And then once he's done, the crook comes out and yanks him. Right? He's out like Caesar. All right. You brought the whole country together. You're like made all these, we're the rulers of the world now. And so now we're going to stab you to death in the Senate. So, are they going to do that to President Trump? They're going to try to. Democrats, if they get their way, they would do that, absolutely. And some Republicans, like Massey of Kentucky. Those Kentuckians, what's going on in Kentucky? They're not like Daniel Boone. You guys remember Daniel Boone? Daniel Boone was a real man, with eyes like an eagle and as tall as a mountain was. I think that's something like that. So You guys remember that? I remember that as like a 5 to 10 years old or so, whatever long. I love that show. Daniel Boone. And he had a Indian sidekick, kind of like the Lone Ranger. So I love the Indian stuff. The Indian stuff was good. And I heard later in life that my grandfather had a lot of Cherokee in him. He looked like he had a lot of Cherokee in him. And then I got my DNA test, and I had no Cherokee. And I'm like, what? And then I found out that the DNA test, they take all the Indian stuff out. Some crooked shit out there. And you know really why they do the DNA test is because they're looking for that. What's that one? Maybe some of you guys might know it. Is it AB negative? Not AB negative. It's like the one that is like the Iranian. Yeah, the those guys that came from outer space. That a lot of elite have that bloodline. I got O positive. Yeah, I'm O positive. RH, is it RH? AB plus? It's one. No, it's not AB plus. I don't think it's AB plus. RH negative. So I think it might be RH negative. So anyway, one of those very rare genes that a lot of the elite have. They try to keep that bloodline because they're Anunnakis. They're like reptilians, right? So, and if you have some of that blood, doesn't mean you're reptilian, all right? You've probably been hybridized and all kind of crazy stuff. So don't worry about that if you got some of that. But if you do have that and you have been having strange things happen in your life, RH negative. Yeah, Judy. I think you're right, Judy. I think it's RH negative. RH and there's RHO as well. And there's RH like nothing, zip, zero, RH, and then RH negative. I think those are the ones that are for the elite, and the elite wanted to find out where's everybody else got the RH. We'll keep track of them, so we don't spread this blood out there too much, and we keep track of everybody. So that's why they do those blood. That's why we have that DNA test, so that they can know, right? And we just saw that one of those DNA test sites are like, we're going bankrupt now. So we're just going to everybody's DNA is just out there, right? So pure blood. Pure blood if you're RH. So let me look that up real quick. RH. Bloodline. Let's see. Anunnaki. Let's see if I get a good search on that. The connection between RH blood type and the Anunnaki is a popular subject within certain alternative theories, particularly in areas like ancient astronaut theory and fringe discussions about human origins. Okay, so it's totally true that ancient astronaut theory and the Anunnaki and genetic engineering, the RH negative blood link, the concept of Anunnaki bloodlines. All right, so yeah, there you go. Right, so you go look that up, and good luck with that rabbit hole. That's a good one. That's a real good one. So it's from Atlantis. That's possible. Yeah, I think it goes back to Atlantis. Anunnaki were involved there. The Anunnaki were involved in the Earth for a long time. So the Anunnaki is like Planet X. That's their realm. And of course, they came in and mined gold. And a lot of gold from South Africa. There's like just tons of ancient, gold mining sites in South Africa. And then that's been traced to some ancient race that came here and mined it and took it away. And so maybe that's why gold is so valuable now. They had to have gold to put around in their atmosphere. I guess gold sparkly, gold dust. What's that one song by Fleetwood Mac, Gold Dust Woman? So there's all kinds of references to a lot of that stuff throughout time. The Mayans, the Incas, all this gold stuff. And so very, very interesting. You just put it all together, and it's like, all right, that's what it is. Right. RH negative. Right. Okay. They didn't shut me down because I was talking about that, so must not be that big of a deal. Right, so, all right, it's fun. Let's keep going. Stay focused. Stay focused. Don't get off track with RH negative stuff, Michael. So, all right, so the Iran Atomic Agency vows to continue program. Screw you, United States. We're going to continue. You can blow us to hell. We don't care. Those bunker buster bombs, we knew they were coming. We moved everything. Ha 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 ha. So yeah, we destroyed all the way down to where they used to have all those weapons because we started talking about how we're going to come kick their ass. Like, don't ever do that. So Trump and team obviously has done a very good job. Remember when Trump was in office last time? It's like there were so many damn leaks. There haven't been any leaks now. And then you have the Congress people. They're like, you should have told us this is war, and we're supposed to get involved. Yep, bitches. No, because you leak that shit and get people killed. So that's why it works that way. And the next one will be similar. And the next one after that will be similar. The one after that. And I think there are probably 3 or 4, maybe as many as 5. That's what I get. Maybe a little bit more. I just looked at it. And so boom chakalaka, boom chakalaka, boom chakalaka laka. And it's just blowing hell out of them. And then there's not going to be any uncle. There's just going to be nobody left. Right. So and that's kind of the way I think it's going to work out. And then you're going to have the Shah. And then of course, yesterday I was like, last night after everything was going off, I was like Shah, and I wrote SHAW. Of course, I have my correctors out there. So, did you mean Shaw like SHAH? Yeah, you know what I meant. Tomato. Come on. Come on. It is, you know what I'm talking about. So, George Bernard Shaw. That's who I was talking about. Yeah, no, come on. But and I used to like get all. I was like, oh, I spelled something wrong. Oh my god. Oh, my grammar's not correct. Oh, damn, I should. And I was like, there's just picky people out there. It's okay, all right. Yeah, if I get something wrong, and they're not really trolls. They're just like, people are just like, they like things perfect. This is their little box, and a lot of them are, English teachers. I'm just making that up. I love my English teachers. They were great. They helped me a lot. I was able to write books. So thank you, English teachers. All right. So I think we're doing pretty good. The International Atomic Energy Agency inspections to confirm that its nuclear program remained peaceful. They were wrong. Like they've always been wrong. And so are they going to be able to go back and, do an inspection? I think after this regime is gone. And then it's going to be like, the Shah comes in, and then they have the Shah's son, of course. The Shah was deposed by the radical Islamist, and they took power. And then they started to kill people all over the world because that's what they do. They're terrorists. They do that. You don't believe in what we do? You got to die. And that's just the way that works, guys. It's okay. Ask Mitch McConnell from Kentucky. Glitch McConnell. Oh, he's where is Mitch? He's from Kentucky too, right? Okay. Yeah, maybe not him. Rand Paul. Oh, yeah, he's from Kentucky. He didn't like the 250th birthday parade for the Army. And he's an isolationist. He doesn't want to do anything. And what happened? What happened to the men of Kentucky? Right? And we have some people that are opposing Trump. Of course, they're Ocasio-Cortez. That's understandable. I mean, she's a cuckoo clock. But then you have Massey, who's from Kentucky too. Oh, that's why. Right. So never mind. So that Kentucky Kool-Aid, I don't know what happened. There's not any Daniel Boone types there anymore. They all went away. And Daniel Boone was a man. He was a real man. And of course, back then you wore a coon hat. Right? So, and that was so popular. It's like, did they really wear coon hats? I think they just made that up. Maybe they did. It looked cool back then. I wanted a coon hat, but I never got one. I was a poor boy, so from a poor family. So, and that you don't get that stuff. I got a little teddy bear, and that was okay. You got a teddy bear, you're good. Okay, all right. So, and I carried that teddy bear wherever I went, and I carried it to school. And they're like, "Why are you carrying a teddy bear?" I love it. It's like part of me, and it's my friend. And then my teddy bear disappeared. I don't think I lost it. I think my parents are like, oh, it's time for him to grow up. Teddy bear's got to go. Boy, I was bummed for a while. Oh, Teddy, I miss you. Teddy Roosevelt. All right. It was after Teddy Roosevelt. He went hunting. And was Teddy Roosevelt a man? Teddy Roosevelt's a man. Was a big man. I don't think so. Anyway, Iranian parliament backs Strait of Hormuz closure. Oil market braces for turmoil. So I went out and got gas. And where's my phone? I got to show you. I took a picture of it. So I went and got gas, and I was like, it's probably a good time to get gas. But you know what's good, guys, is when all this started. Now, if it was back in, Jimmy Carter's time, or George Bush's time, just talking about an attack in Iran or anything like that, oil prices would have gone up $1. They didn't do that this time. I was like, things have changed. I bet Big Daddy Trump went out to talk to all the oil boys and said, don't fuck around. Right? Don't fuck around. And they're like, yes, sir. What are you gonna do for us? And it was like, well, we'll let you drill. All right. You're gonna make a lot of money. Art of the deal. You're gonna make a lot of money. That's the Trump tells everybody that you're gonna make a lot of money. They're like, yes, sir. Okay. China, you're gonna make a lot of money. Don't get involved in Iran. I can't tell you what's gonna happen, but don't get involved. All right. And Russia, we're gonna let you have all of Ukraine, but don't get involved with Iran. I can't tell you what's gonna come. Okay, I'll act like I'm pissed off and I'll say bad things, but I won't do anything. Okay, perfect. All right. And good luck with Iran killing those Nazis. Right. We don't like Nazis either. We try to get rid of them here. They're called Democrats. All right. So let me get that one picture for you guys and then put it up there. It is quite amazing. Photos. How's it going to that? All right. So look how many gallons of gas I got. 11.111. Look how much I pay for it. I have a high-end car, kind of. So it's not a Ferrari, but it's fast. And it takes premium. So I'm just like, I'm not bragging. I'm not egoic. I'm just like, I'm just in the zone. And sometimes they're like, let me know. All right, you're kicking, keep going. 11. So the angels, because Archangel Michael came and saved me, and is like, yeah, I think maybe you can do some work for us on this side. You work for us on this side, and So we got you on that side, and we're going to have you, inform people. All right, keep everybody calm, keep everybody cool, send out that love vibration, and we're going to kick some serious ass on the baddies. All right, I'm like, Roger that, Archangel Michael. And so that's where we're at right now. We're kicking ass on the baddies, and then you have all the naysayers that are going to like come in and say, we're going to get in another Iranian war. It's going to be like long. It's going to take too long. That was the Black Hats. That was the Black Hats. That was the Bush family. Come on. All right. They were Black Hats. They're Nazis. You don't have a Nazi here. You have a white hat. Things are different. All right. Trump is the peace guy. And everybody's like, oh, yeah, you bomb the hell out of them, and that's peaceful. So like, you're a knucklehead. You people, there's some knuckleheads out there, aren't there? All right. So someone comes in to your yard, like the Iranians, and they tell you, we're going to rape your wife and your daughter. And you're like, no, we want to have peace. Don't do that. We're Democrats. Let's make a deal. We'll like rape everybody else's wives and children. Right? So, and they're like, no, yours. We're gonna rape yours. And then that Republican that they're saying that too, because it's not a Democrat. Democrats, they've already been taken. They take them over already. So they're like, all right, you come back, I'm gonna blow your ass away, because I'm Daniel Boone and I'm a real man. So they come back and it blows them away, and everything's good. But all of the Democrats and all of the Republicans are like, how dare you? How dare you kill that innocent Iranian that came to kill you and rape your wives and children? Yeah, no, I'm okay with that. You guys can criticize all you want. I get a lot of criticism. And I did today. Go look at my ex. So I'm like, and people that I follow and that are I still think they're good people. If you want to criticize me, that's fine. Don't laugh at me. It's like, I come over stuff you don't like. I don't agree with you. I don't come over and laugh at your ass. I'm like, what the fuck? Come on. Maybe I need to defriend you. So, but then if you come in and you say, bullshit stuff like you're a grifter and you gotta go away. All right. Delete forever. And, but if you come in, you got, I don't agree with that, Michael. I think that, this is going to happen, and I don't think it's going to work out that way. And you need to change Shaw to not SHAW, but SHAH. Okay, that's cool. I'm okay with that. Good reflection. I'll take that on. We'll see how this works out. Right. So, and then there's somebody in there who's like, well, let them come to your house first. Like, let them come to my house first. I wish they would come to my house first. I will fix that very quickly. But if they come to your house, I think we know what's going to happen. So you're not a Daniel Boone man, right? You don't have and I should just get one of those coonskin hats today because I can afford it, right? I might have to like get some expert. There's probably somebody out there. Mike, I'll send you one of those. I got 5 of them. I don't need a little one, right? I've got a medium-sized head now. So it is. It'll be interesting if the Iranian takes it upon themselves to close the Strait of Hormuz. Now, in Jim McConnell's time, he basically passed a bunch of laws like that hand motion. I can do it real fast. Pow! And so he passed a lot of laws where if they did that kind of bullshit, then it could be an act of war. And I don't think we're going to get into war. We're just going to spank the hell out of them. You do that, we do this. You keep doing that, we're going to do more. It's going to be that, right? Because that will definitely hurt the markets. Although America, I think we're kind of self-sufficient now. Trump daddy's back in, right? I don't know if it's complete yet. I don't think we're like exporting like we were when the Trumpster was in office first time, but I'm sure we're going to get close to that. And the big oil daddies are like Yeah, we'll keep that price down because you're hooking us up. You're hooking us up. That's part of the deal. We're going to make some money. So everybody's going to make money under Trump. The Iranians going to make money on the Trump. He was like, I want to do a deal with you. And they're like, no, we don't deal with Americans. It's debt to America. That's what we say. It's debt to Israel, your partner. Yeah, your partner. You like Netanyahu? No, he's for last. What does that even mean? Yeah, you don't need to know. We don't tell everybody all our stuff, right? Especially not you guys. Could Iran really block the Strait of Hormuz? Sure, they could. It's not super small. You want to see? Let's look at it. If you've forgotten, probably you've seen it before in the past, but maybe it's been a little while. So here's the Strait of Hormuz, and it's pretty tight right there. It's tight. Now, I've been in that area. I've been to Oman. I trained Omanis. I trained them. I trained Omani SEALs. They were pretty good, actually. I was impressed with Omanis. And they had a Brit there that was former SAS. He was a sharp dressed guy. He's a little stuffy, like Brits are, but he was pretty cool. I liked what he was doing. He didn't hang out with us. He didn't want to have any beers with us or whatever. But I'm cool with that. You don't have to hang out with us. I respect you as long as you're doing good stuff. So, but usually you talk beer to SAS guys, especially the Aussies, my bros, and they're like, "Oh, we got some beer," and they do. They got beer, they got wine. Oh my God, they got some good stuff in. If you've never been to Australia, go to Perth and go up. They have a river. What's that river? Some of you Aussies would like. I can't believe you can't remember that river, but there's like a river they have, and they have wines, and they have like so good. So yeah, highly recommend hanging out with the Aussies. Aussies like to party. They like their Barbies, and they got some good Barbies. They got all kinds of meats. They like meats. I like meats. Swan River, spiritual journey. I love it. Spiritual journey, Swan River. So the Swan River Valley has exceptional wines. I think they're some of the best wines in the world. And I guess they have. I didn't do them because I was just a, poor boy military man, and I couldn't afford like the Swan River cruise where they did wine tastings. But if I could go back there, I would like to do it. Maybe some of those Aussies will get into my LifeWave business, and I can go back and make it a business trip. That'd be great. Aussies, please get LifeWave, and let's do good things in the world and party on the Swan River. All right, so it's pretty tight there, as you guys can see. So it's easy. Here's Iran, here's Oman, here's everybody else, Saudi Arabia, and United Arab Emirates. So they have to go through here, the Arabian Gulf. So Iran, it's a big place, and they're not so nice because they're Islamic radicals, right? So they don't get along good with others, right? It's no fun. So we're gonna probably have an issue with them. They're probably gonna play hardball and do something stupid, and then the global markets are not gonna like it. And if they do, they're supposed to pass a resolution. If Ayatollah Ali Khamenei approves the proposed closure of the critical maritime checkpoint through which approximately 30% of global seaborne oil and 20% of liquid gas goes through transits, Brent crude and natural gas futures will surge sharply this evening. And then markets tomorrow will go down, right? Will go down. And probably gold and silver will go up. Right? But we'll see. We'll see. It would harm Iran more. I agree, because that's how they make their money. And maybe that's why Russia is like, yes, don't do anything to Iran, United States. And they wink, wink. right? So because the price of oil is going to go up, and they're going to like make a lot of money because they're going to be like, because that's a big moneymaker for Russia, right? So not Swan, yeah, it is a Swan River Valley, absolutely, I think so. Go look it up. Go look it up and get back to me. That's where is it Margaret River? I think it's a Swan. Pretty sure it's a Swan. All right, now I got to look it up. See, you're taking me offline. I got shit to do here. I'm a businessman. Shit to do. That's Eddie Murphy, right? Is it Eddie Murphy in that one of those shows? Yeah, I think it was. Swan River Valley. Perth. Swan River, Western Australia. 25 minutes from Perth. So, yes, somebody was right, and I was right in remembering they were right, or they helped me remember. So, it's quite exceptional. It's beautiful. That Perth is absolutely beautiful. North of Perth, you'll run into large stretches of land that are desolate, or used to be that way. Probably not so much. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe Aussies have reproduced enough to like fill all those areas up, but it used to be completely outback, real outback. I remember we did a beach landing there, and we hooked up with the Aussie, demolition guys or whatever, and they took us in their Range Rovers. I like the Range Rover so much. I got one. That's what I'm talking about. I got a Range Rover. So the Range Rovers, like out back, and there was like emu running around, like running. I was like, damn, a dinosaur. They're real. It looked like a dinosaur. It was crazy. And then out of nowhere, there was a bar. What was that? Really good Aussie beer back then. It's still probably really good. Aussie beer. What's Aussie beers? Foster's. It was Foster's. Yeah. And Foster's. I haven't drank a Foster in a long time, and now I'm wanting it. Right now that I talked about it, Foster's. Yeah, that's good beer. So I mean, it was way out there, and it was cold. So cold Foster's, and we had been on the beach for 2 days because we like did a beach survey. We slept on the beach and then did another one, make sure it was good. And then the beach landing happened, and then this guy shows up, and it was good. We hung out with him, and he took us all around. So kangaroos and all kind of great stuff. Emus. I was like, dang, dinosaurs are still in Australia. Crazy land. And that was back when Men at Work were good. I come from a land down under. So it was good times. And everything at the time was like 20 years behind the United States. And they're always asking us about, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And it's like, do whatever you guys. You guys are looking good. You do what you want. Don't, they want to be like Americans or something. It's like, no, you guys are like, you're good. Everybody likes you guys. Don't try to be Americans. We suck sometimes. So especially for Democrat. But they were like, what about this? What about that? And I was like, don't worry about it. It's like, you guys are good. But the one thing they were way advanced in was like in their nightclubs. Their nightclubs back then, and I'm talking like 81, 82, and their nightclubs had these huge screens, and they had videos on them. What was that? What was that other group that was I can't think of the name, but so long ago. So anyway, there was all these like the top bands at that time in the 80s. You know, I love the 80s. The 80s bands were great, and they had them on video, like Girls on Film. So they had Girls on Film. Dun, 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 and it's like, wow, that's like, whoa. They were way ahead. Duran Duran. Yeah, exactly. Girls on Film. And there, look up that video. Jeez, that's like risque even to this day. But they had that on the big screen, and I never seen anything like that. So they were way ahead in that aspect, but everything else, they're like 20 years behind. It was really quaint. I loved it. It was a good time. Max Headroom, yeah, all this. In Excess, yep, In Excess. And that guy was like found hanging. I think they did that. I think he got out of line, and they made him look bad. That sucks, because I loved In Excess. They were one of my favorite groups. Duran Duran, they weren't an Aussie group, but In Excess was, and of course Men at Work. So they had some really good bands back then. AC/DC, yep, right, they're Aussie. So incredible, bands back then came out of Australia in the 80s. 80s were the time, and not just rock and roll bands, but all kind of bands. Dire Straits, was it Dire Straits out of were they Aussie? Huh, cool. All right, so let's get back on track. I know people are like wandering off. So this is a good one. I want you guys to we'll read this along. Not all of it, of course, but I'm gonna read some of this to you guys. This kind of shows you, and in the last several minutes of the show, well, actually, I got. Let's look at it. Let's look. Dun, 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 dun. Girls on Film. I looked into Ayatollah Khamenei's eyes. He's willing to die a martyr. All right. So, not. These guys are all angry. It's like you see pictures of them before they became, head of the radical, Muslim, Shia, and no, they're not Sunni, they're Shia. So, and they're all smiling, and then once they get in there, like this guy's smiling, and then they're all mean looking. It's like, what happened to you guys? The closest I ever came to Ayatollah Khamenei was in the summer of 2009 during the Green Movement that brought millions of Iranians on the streets to protest against a presidential election that had been rigged in favor of the Ayatollah's preferred candidate. One Friday in June, so this is a British journalist. I was one of two foreign journalists, the only Brit, he says, and the press section of a huge open-air prayer space in the center of Tehran, while a few yards away, the supreme leader delivered one of the most consequential sermons of his life amid chants from the congregation of Death to America. That has not changed, and that has been chanted for 40 years or more, and Death to Israel. Same thing, guys. Khamenei abandoned his long-maintained pose of neutrality between Iran's political factions, declaring the election results legitimate and ordering the protesters to end their agitation or face blood, violence, and chaos. So what do they do to the people? They beat the hell out of them and killed them. Arrested women that were trying to, they said the Green Movement was obliterated by truncheon charges and pepper gas, show trials, and prison rapes. I never forgot that look. So he was accusing Western nations of being behind the protest And he says, Khomeini suddenly fixed his eyes on mine, declaring, and the most evil of them all are the British. Years later, and now 86 years old, Khomeini is the least known of the three national leaders who will decide the future of Iran as he hides in his bunker. Now Trump has done what he previously seemed unwilling to do. Late on Saturday night, the U.S. president ordered military strikes on 3 Iranian nuclear facilities. Okay, rest is history. For Khomeini, this is a moment of truth, which his 46 years of service to the Islamic Revolution is about to end. Those are my words, right? Is about to end. In the 1980s, he waged an epic 8-year war against Saddam Hussein's Iraq. Sunnis, the Shia and the Sunnis war against each other. And then when Saddam Hussein was taken down, then the Shia came in, the Shiites. They're called Shia or Shiites. And so the Shia came in and took over control of Iraq, and we know what happened. Roadside bombs, killing thousands of veterans, maiming thousands more, right? So let's look at some of the history. U.S. cities on high alert after U.S. bombs Iran. Of course, major cities, New York, Washington, D.C., Chicago, Los Angeles, and then every other Democrat city are in trouble, right? Because they don't have Daniel Boone men. They don't have Daniel Boone men. Daniel Boone was a man, was a big man. And then we have Democrats, little men, right? So in the Iraq conflict, and I'm talking about when the U.S. got involved. Now, I was a contractor for the CIA, first for the State Department, watching over Ambassador Bremer, moving him around and so forth. And then a short period of time, I was down in Diwania, Iraq, protecting State Department personnel. And then I started working with the CIA for pretty much the next 11 years. All right, so traveling all over the world. Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, Lebanon, Yemen, Pakistan, the worst of the worst. All right. And why? Because of Iran. Because of Iran, guys. So all of those areas. So I told you guys yesterday how when I was in Iran, part of the basically heading up the advanced portion of the Ambassador Rimmer detail. So I would go to the sites where he was going to speak and make sure they're all safe. We had bomb sniffing dogs, and we would go in and set everything up. And I would travel to other parts of the Iraq. I'd go up to the north, go down to the south. I'd go there days before, and with my teams, and we make sure everything's safe. And then the other Ambassador Bremer would come in with the protective detail, and we're on the outside, making sure everything's good. I was watching over everything, making sure everything worked. And then when they were done, boom, I was on another plane or another vehicle. We're going to the next place to get ready for his next, because he was a very busy man. He did a lot of good work. So as a contractor, we were doing, quite frankly, more high-risk stuff than the military. Way more. And there's no surprise that more contractors died than military personnel in Iraq and Afghanistan. Now, some of those deaths were just from yahoos that thought they were going to earn some good money and just show up. Well, they showed up to a shooting gallery, and they weren't so smart, right? Unless you had a good background, you died, right? So a lot of those guys died because they just showed up thinking, I'm making all this money, and then they're dead, right? So a lot of them ended up that way. So contractor deaths are often less politically visible than military deaths, which can influence decisions about their use. So we were dying in high numbers, but they were never reported. Contractors died on, like I said, more contractors died, more than U.S. troops. So more than 7,000 U.S. troops were killed in Iraq and Afghanistan, while more than 8,000 contractors, private contractors, were killed in Iraq. And so talked about the 1,569 private contractors were killed in Iraq by July 20th, 2012, right? So yeah, there's a lot more. This was an old one. I just pulled this up real quick. This doesn't even go that far. It only goes to 2010, and then it had that little piece of 2012. So obviously, all the way up until somebody posing as Biden, basically pulled out of Afghanistan. So all the way up to then, that's another 8, 12, whatever years. So there was a lot more deaths. I know. No, we weren't mercenaries. Mercenaries are basically hired to be part of a war. As a military, as a private contractor and protective details, you're not a mercenary. You're not there to fight for the host army like we're seeing in Ukraine, where people from all over the world are coming in, and of course, all those billions and billions of dollars that were being pumped into Ukraine, a lot of that was paying for mercenaries. They were coming from all over the world and dying in big numbers. Right? Send them to the Russian front, and that's where they died. And then some of them that came in acting all tough. I remember this one Canadian sniper. He was like ballyhooed all over the internet, and he showed up, and the Russians came in and like a tank round hit near him and blew the pieces of people, the guys that he was with, and they were dumbasses because they were like smoking cigarettes instead of like down in the trench. So he like ran tail between his legs out of there. He was a lucky one. So a lot of these contractors in Iraq, in Afghanistan, and of course the other places where I went, because I was a contractor for CA, and nobody on my teams during that entire time frame that I was there, 11 years, no one in any of the SEAL teams that I was in charge of ever got seriously injured or died. Ever. No one. Pretty cool, right? That's the power. That's the power of love. So you guys know I'm a love man, right? So I was always pushing that stuff out there. After Archangel Michael was like, we're going to send you back. You're lucky because he didn't say this, of course, but I reflect. And because you were like crazy. You were crazy. You're a crazy man. And because you're crazy, you're like working in the demonic realm, trying to kick ass. And you can't kick ass with hate and anger in the demonic realm, because that's their forte. And so I learned the power of love, and I went in that realm, and I became the master, right? And you can too. And I have courses for that. I have courses for all this stuff, guys. A lot of people have done these courses. A lot of people have bought these courses for other people. They do the courses. They get the courses for other people, and other people have done. I mean, thousands and thousands of people have done these courses. So people have been doing these courses for a long time. So remote viewing, remote influencing, intuition. Start with the intuition course and work your way into other ones. Or if you're smart, you just buy everything. All right, it's so cheap now. I used to offer these courses for a lot more money, and they used to fly out of there. So still good information. Love equals law of vibrational energy. Yes, the top of the totem pole and vibrational energy. Yes, pure energy. Remember Spock used to sing that? Pure energy. Or he said that. There was a song like, it's like one of those techno songs or something. And then Spock would go, pure energy. Pure energy. It was a popular song too. So yeah, pure energy. That's a love vibration. So you're seeing that this is because of the Iranian Revolution, guys. All of these deaths. And now when I look at the Iranian Revolution, of course, happened in 78, 79. And it was a color revolution, just like they did in Ukraine, just like they tried to do in D.C. with Donald Trump. Remember how they were riding around the Capitol and then around the White House? It was close. It was close. Almost color revolution with George Floyd, Democrat baddie. Democrats are so bad. God. So anyway, stole the election. Democrats stole the election and put in a little puppet boy. And it posed as him. I think the White Hats put the puppet boy in, and they told the Black Hats, yeah, we took your boy down. And now we're running the show. You can still do your shit. We know you're going to do your shit, but we're coming for you. We're going to start to take more and more of your shit away. And that's why we're going after Iran. We're taking their shit away. All right. So the numbers killed are staggering, right? Let's just look at Afghanistan. Now I looked at Iraq. The Iraq numbers were like hundreds of thousands of civilians killed. And then, like I showed you, 8,000, 15,000 military and contractors, probably a little bit more. And then for the military and so forth in Iraq, there were like another 100 friggin' thousand. So all in all, there's like 500,000. And of course, Iran was funding that. How many people have died? All these bleeding hearts that are out there saying Israel is bombing the hell out of the Palestinian people. No, they're bombing the hell out of Hamas. Hamas controls the Palestinian people. So, and if you look at Ukraine, Ukrainians are bombing the hell out of, had been bombing for 7 years, Russian-speaking people in the Donbass area, killing well over 12,000. No bleeding heart Democrats on that one. In fact, they want Ukraine to succeed because we know why. Because they money launder through Ukraine. They have, bioweapon labs in Ukraine. They do human trafficking in Ukraine. They send money to Ukraine, send $1 billion to Ukraine, and they get half of it back. Right? Back to the Democrat Party and all the people in the Democrat Party, so they can run and stay in power, guys. Very, very corrupt system. All right. So in Afghanistan, there were 2,461 U.S. military that were killed. U.S. contractors, 3,846, of course, more. 1,400 more, over 1,400 more. Other allied service members, 1,144. Afghan national military and police, 66,000. I remember when I was in Afghanistan and Iraq, there were constant attacks on police stations. They would take down the police stations and then they'd control a little city. They come in and have their way with it, do whatever they wanted because there's no law enforcement. That's what they would do here in the United States. Same thing, if given the option. But fortunately, they didn't win the last election because somebody made a deal with the Chinese, I think. Right? Let's make a deal. What are the Democrats going to give you? I'll give you more. Right? And he's not going to give him more. He will give him the option of making that. Right? He doesn't give away money. He's a smart man. All right, Afghan civilians, 47,000. Taliban and other opposition fighters, they always inflate these numbers. 51,000. I think that's bullshit. Right? But that's a lot. Right? So we're talking 150 almost 200,000 just in Afghanistan. It's a little tiny place. Iraq, triple, quadruple that. How long have they been fighting in Palestine? Like decades, right? How many hundreds of thousands have died there? How many tens or hundred of thousand or more has died in southern Lebanon fighting the Hezbollah? It's insane. It's insane how many. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. But one thing that I like is that President Trump and Harry get along. I mean not Harry, but William, Prince William. They like each other. They're buds. And you're like, Mike, you're going off on a tangent. No, I'm not. Because this is going to make a big difference in the world. So United States and Britain, at one time the most powerful country in the world, but still has great influence around the world. Both of them working together will be monumental, I believe, going forward. So let me share the screen and show you Prince William, who will soon be king, I believe. I think they're grooming him. And maybe behind the scenes, Daddy's already gone. That's what I'm thinking. All right. So, I mean, look at this wardrobe. Holy smokes! Looks like a double bowline to me. That's a nautical thing, right? We used to do those when we used to do these knots when we did demolition. So, I mean, look at all this stuff, maritime law stuff. Something's going on there. I don't know, guys. But I mean, that was that Templar cross. What's going on there? It's like, just look at all this stuff. Look at the colors. Wow. And look at her tiara. Oh, that's lovely. And it just all the jewelry and the earrings. They're probably just for this event. That's all. And then they take that and they put it away. Crown jewels type thing. Crazy. Look at that. So anyway, here they are. They're laughing in the woods. And there he is with the little doggies. All right. He looks like a cool guy. I think he's a cool guy. He's a military guy. He looks genuine to me. I mean, look at that. What the heck's going on with that hat? Jeez. Looks like something out of French Revolution or something. Eddie. King Charles. He's got the world in his hand. He's got the whole world in his hands. So, and then he's got the cross there. And then he's got the wand, right? And the Knight's Cross, whatever. I mean, you could just go through this stuff. Look at that crown. I bet that ruby right there is worth about $2 million. Like, what the, or more, probably 10 million. I don't know. I mean, look at everything. Just the wallpaper. That's probably real gold. Like, what the hell? My God. The wealth. It's unbelievable. So, and here's everybody looking up. Now, so you got the ladies. They're looking down, contemplative. She's got the contemplative look. Look at that hat. That's a nice hat. Right? I'm not into hats, but that's a good one. I mean, this one looks, wow. Okay. I think did you not decide which one of these hats you wanted to wear? How many you got there? But I mean, look at this thing. This is probably worth about 10 million. Look at that chandelier. Jesus. Opulence. Amazing. And then, this is how we do things. You wave your hand like this, and you smile like this, and you wear your hat like this, and you hold yourself like this. And they go through schools of that. And so much for Harry. Harry's not of the line. Everybody knows that. Deanna had an affair. All right, so now this is a nice scene, very family, right? So you get to, I mean, I don't know, it's kind of like German looking, whatever. Right? So, And here he is. And look at these English girls. They're all proper. This prim and proper. I think it's beautiful. And then here he is, everybody's like, standing by. The British are so proper. They're proper until they get drunk, and they're not proper at all. Then they just let it all out. It's like they're so like proper all the time. They're like, just let me get drunk, and then I'm gonna like just let it all go. Right? And you see them getting drunk in the streets. It's pretty sad, but because they really get crazy. So I mean, I think the guy's good. I like the guy. I mean, look at here's a military uniform. I think he served really well. And then here's some children with some. This looks like maybe it's okay food. I think British food is the worst food in the world. It's like, what the hell? It's horrible. And that's might be one of the reasons why they're so uptight. So here we are. They're hanging out. This is what I wanted to come to. They're hanging out. That's a good look. So of course this is the Times of London. So they got to throw their spin in it. And then there is the special relationship. At Donald Trump's request, William was the first UK representative to meet him following his re-election. After the reopening of the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris in December, in a warm meeting indicating Trump's eagerness to align himself with the royal family, because the other ones weren't so royal, they were baddies. He described William as a very handsome and a good man doing a fantastic job. The pair will meet again during Trump's second state UK visit expected in the autumn. As a source close to William quips, so this is where they got to throw in their British knuckleheadedness. Trump seems obsessed with him, which is fantastic for the UK. He just has to smile at Trump, and we get an extra cut in tariffs. Such dry humor. Not fond of it, but it is what it is. So I think we're going to see good things come out of Trump and William, guys. And this is the psychic in me that's coming through for you. Right? You mark your calendar, right? So anyway, I think it's going to be very positive. Very, 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 very positive. He's jealous of Trump's here. I know, right? It's like, how did he get that comb over? It's like, that's incredible. And Trump's had surgery. He's got his, he pushed it together and all this stuff. They cut some scalp out, and so I saw this one guy that pointed it out. That's an expert in that field, and it's like, it is what it is. No, he looks good. All right, so now we're going to go into exposing the Democrats, and you guys are going to be informed. All right, you don't need to get pissed. I'm not pissed. I'm just like, God, guys, really? All right, so 1860 Republican party platform calls for one man, one woman marriage. Even all the way back then, Republicans are doing it. Ban on slavery, federal return of land to the people. Wow. So during a Lincoln-Douglas debates, U.S. Senator Stephen Douglas stated, Democrat, Illinois, I do not regard the Negro as my equal and positively deny that he is my brother or any kin to me whatever. Douglas became Democrat Party's 1860 presidential nominee. 1862, Republican President Lincoln signs bill to abolish slavery in Washington, D.C. In Congress, 99% of Republicans vote yes. 83% of Democrats vote no. The party of slavery. I'm not bullshitting here. This is fact. This is on the record. July 17, 1862, despite unanimous Democrat opposition, Republican Congress passed Confiscation Act so that slaves of the Confederacy shall be forever free. 1865, ban on slavery, 13th Amendment, passed U.S. House, unanimous Republican support, Democrat opposition. Sound familiar? Democrats oppose everything that's good for people. Ban on slavery, passed by U.S. Senate, 100% Republican support. So in Congress and in the Senate, 100% unanimous Republican support. And in the Senate, they had unanimous Democrat opposition in Congress, but there's 63 Democrat opposition. All right. So there's more of these. I just go on and on and on. How the Republicans are trying to pass laws. They work around President Johnson, who's a Democrat. Republican Congress in 1866 overrides veto of President Johnson, who took over after, he's a Democrat, who took over after President Lincoln was assassinated. Now, when Lincoln was assassinated, his guard, the guy that was supposed to be guarding him, took off. And everybody should have been like, where the hell were you? What the hell happened? And he said, well, he told me to go home. Yeah, right. Bullshit. And Ulysses S. Grant, he was invited to come to the theater. And Ulysses S. Grant said, no, I got some other things over here. I gotta catch a train. See you later. Can't make it, sorry. So he was set up, guys. He was set up so that Johnson could come in, a Democrat, and take over. Civil Rights Act of 1866 becomes law after Republicans overrode Johnson's, conferring rights of citizenship on black people. 1866, U.S. House passed Republican 14th Amendment to give due process and equal protection of law to all citizens. 100% Democrat, no vote. I could just go on and on and on. Senate passed Republican 14th Amendment, giving the due process. Republican, 94% Republican, yes. 100% Democrats, no. They did not want, they want slavery, guys. Republicans reverse Andrew Johnson's veto, grant voting rights to black people in D.C., 1867. And it just keeps going on. So 1868, Republicans began impeachment trial of President Andrew Johnson, who said, this is a country for white men. You know how the Democrats were like, white privilege? We know who the privilege is, guys. It's the Democrat Party that's pushing this bullshit. This is a country for white men, and by God, as long as I am president, I shall be a government of white men. Not women, because women don't have the vote yet either, and the Democrats are going to oppose the women vote. Yes. This is a white man's country. Let white men rule, said Republicans denounce national campaign theme in 1868 of the Democrat Party. So while campaigning for re-election, U.S. Representative James Hines, Republican of Arkansas, assassinated by Democrat terrorists organized by the KKK. All right, so here it is right here. 1869, Governor John Campbell, Republican Wyoming Territory, signs first in-nation law granting women right to vote and to hold office. 15th Amendment in 1870, ratified, giving vote to all Americans, regardless of race, passed House with 98% Republican support, 97% Democrat opposition. So you know how the Democrats are always saying they're the party for the women, and there's a lot of women are bullshitted by this. A lot of women are bullshitted by this. Remember Madonna with her pussy hat, and all those women with the pussy hats saying that they want to burn the White House down because Trump got elected? It just keeps going on, guys. 1870, women vote in Wyoming in first election after women's suffrage signed into law by Republican Governor John Campbell. Republican Congress passes Enforcement Act providing federal protection for Black American voters. 1871. 1956, 97% Democrats in Congress condemn Supreme Court's decision in Brown versus Board of Education and pledge to continue segregation. So Republican federal judge Frank Johnson rules in favor of Rosa Parks, striking down blacks in the back of the bus law. Civil rights leaders Martin Luther King and Ralph Abernathy vote for Republican Dwight Eisenhower for president. Then Dwight Eisenhower just comes in and kicks some ass too. Signs Republican Party's 1957 Civil Rights Act. 1957, Senator John Kennedy and Lyndon Johnson criticize President Eisenhower for deploying the 82nd Airborne Division to Little Rock, Arkansas, to force Governor Orval Faubus, Democrat, of course, to integrate public schools. 1960, President Dwight Eisenhower signs Republican Civil Rights Act 1960, overcoming 125-hour filibuster by 18 Senate Democrats. 1963, Republicans condemned Democrat Sheriff of Birmingham, Alabama, for arresting over 2,000 African-American school children marching for their civil rights. And then the very this got a lot of news. 1963, Governor George Wallace, Democrat, Alabama, defies order to integrate Tuskegee High School by U.S. District Judge Frank Johnson, appointed by President Eisenhower. And it goes on and on. And it talks about Senator Robert Byrd, who did a 14-hour filibuster against, he was a Democrat from West Virginia, 1964 Civil Rights Act, who was a former poobah, whatever, of the Ku Klux Klansman. And of course, Hillary Clinton said, oh, he trained me. And then once that Ku Klux Klan stuff started coming out, she distanced herself, who served in the Senate until his death in 2010. At Byrd's funeral, former Democrat President Bill Clinton said he once had a fleeting association with the Ku Klux Klan. No, he was a grand poobah. He wasn't a fleeting association. 1964, Senator Everett Dirksen, Republican of Illinois, criticized the Democrat filibuster against 1964 civil rights. They keep at it. They try to take away the civil rights of blacks and women constantly. These guys are evil. They've been evil and they still are. They're pushing all of these riots, guys, in our cities, the Democrats. It's unbelievable. Let's see what else I got. So President Ronald Reagan, of course, Republican, in 1982 signs 25-year extension of 1965 Voting Rights Act. So the Democrats can't come in and screw it up again. And September 28th, 2011, 90% of self-described liberals couldn't explain what a Jim Crow law is. This is a good one, too. 2014, Representative Nancy Pelosi, Democrat, of course, California, received the Margaret Sanger Award. Margaret Sanger said, "We don't want word to get out that what we are trying to do with the Negro Project is to eliminate the Negro population." Of course, this is, abortion. They pushed abortion. The Negro Project called for Ku Klux Klan members to get into positions of policy and media to cause the black community to begin to kill its own members. It encourages people to work against their own self-interest by rewarding bitter, violent individuals with power and media prestige. Kind of like these rappers, right? So today, Democrats work to fund Margaret Sanger's Planned Parenthood and convince you it's in your best interest to become sexually promiscuous and kill your babies, right? So there. I mean, it's clear. It's clear the Democrats are not good for America, right? They're trying to start riots. I think that we're right now in a silent civil war with the Democrats, guys. Of course, I know, I see them, right? But they're rioting in our cities, pushing for slavery rights again for illegal immigrants. All right, it's pathetic. It's pathetic how they've been able to stay in power. Absolutely sick. I'm sick of them. Chicago next. That's right, Steve. That's what Wano Saban said. Chicago's next. We'll see. But yeah, you guys know my intuitions and my remote views on this is that we're going to lose a lot of cities, right? And that's the Democrats. Will this be the final straw to get rid of these Democrats? Please. These people are sick. I agree. All right. Okay, guys. That's all I got for tonight. Stay in the love vibration. We're going to see something from Iran. I think it's going to be minimalist because they know if they go heavy, they're going to get hammered. So they're going to try and drag it out while they lick their wounds and try and regroup. So we'll see what happens. But still, stay alert, stay vigilant, stay in the love vibration because it will keep your intuition open to anything. You get the heebie-jeebies, you get that and feel right type thing. Listen to it. All right, listen to it. All right, lots of love. Please stay in that love vibration because it makes you effective. Send a lot of love to the Democrat Party in Iran. And I'll see you guys next time.